what we're going to focus on here today is on the inside of the body, the Pharmanex BioScan Wellness Program. And the whole point of this is to enhance your clinical outcomes, generate referrals, generate more income, and possibly have an exit strategy. Now, Pharmanex started with the two gentlemen, Dr. Joseph Chang and Dr. Michael Chang, no relation. Dr. Joseph Chang is now our Chief Scientific Officer. He was working at Wyeth for many years and developed some drugs that you might be aware of, Rapamune being the most famous one. It prevents organ rejection after transplant. And when someone in his family got sick, he looked around in the 90s and saw that the nutritional world was the wild, wild west. Anybody could slap a bottle on anything and call it whatever they wanted. So what he did with his partner is they co-founded Pharmanex in 1996, and they brought the pharmaceutical production process to the world of nutrition for the first time. And they did very well for themselves. In fact, they did extremely well for themselves. They had their products in 35,000 retail locations, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, etc. And they were doing about $50 million a year when we bought them in 1998. And we bought them and we told them to take all of their products off the shelves and that we were going to sell them strictly through word of mouth. And when we did that, the very first month of sales, we exceeded what Dr. Chang and his partner had done in the previous 12 months in 35,000 retail locations. So it was a win-win for both of us, and we're very happy to have Dr. Joseph Chang, and of course we're very happy to have Pharmanex. That's what I saw when I first looked at this company 14 years ago. Now, 75 full-time PhD-level staff scientists, 150 scientific associations, university affiliations, and of course the core of all this is the success quality approach, which is the pharmaceutical approach to the formulation of nutritional supplements. It's a game changer, and it's ours. And the Biophotonic Scanner is a product that we bought the rights to for 20 years. It was invented at the same place as the artificial heart, the University of Utah. The scientists there were looking to find a way to measure antioxidants in the back of the human eye. They were studying the relationship between antioxidants and macular degeneration. It's an inverse relationship. They also discovered that human beings don't like having a needle stuck in their eye for a biopsy. So they looked around the technology world and they found a technology called Raman Spectroscopy, which had just won the Nobel Prize in Physics. And they applied it. They made this machine that was originally as big as a master bedroom for most houses. And we bought the rights to it, shrunk that machine down into the bread box size thing that you see in your office today, or you will see in your office. Now, what we measure with that technology is carotenoids in the skin, all the way to the roots of the hair. And carotenoids are the biggest body of antioxidants. And when you measure carotenoids, research has shown that when you measure carotenoids, you're predicting the entire body of antioxidants. That sounds extraordinary, but the research is there to back it up. And in fact, at the end of this presentation, if you want more research, just ask. Be specific, because one of our 75 scientists has written over 70 books and published over 700 articles. So be very specific if you want more information, because you can be reading for a long time. Now, what we've done with that machine over the last 10 years is we've scanned over 15 million people. This is the second largest health database in the world, and we can correlate a person's scanner score directly with their lifestyle. So things like smoking and eating and being fat lower your score, increasing the intake of fruits and vegetables raise your score, and of course taking supplements raises your score as well. That's very important, because this is a biomarker that you can use with your patients to help them make better decisions. Because ultimately we know that we are what we eat. Basically what you take in is what your body becomes. And the sad fact is, research, the biggest research in the United States so far, about 250,000 people, 2009, has shown that 90 to 95% of the people do not eat even the recommended amounts of fruits and vegetables that they're supposed to. And even if they did, so what? When we were growing up, it was an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, now, here in 2013, it's 20 apples a day to keep the doctor away. Quote-unquote modern farming techniques have depleted our soil, and so that we have to eat now way more fruits and vegetables than we ever did before, and the fact is people don't. So finally, after about 100 years of pressure, the Journal of the American Medical Association in 2002 came out and said, we recommend that all adults take a multivitamin daily. But they failed to say which multivitamin and what kind and how much and so forth, and there's lots of arguments over that, and you could go way deep in the rabbit hole. The challenge is when you start arguing about whose research study is better, is that very often the researchers themselves aren't aware of where the products came from that they're using in the study. You can call up a researcher and sometimes they'll tell you, well, I don't know which brand it was. I just sent my assistant out to get some. And so it becomes very difficult to compare study to study with supplements, and it becomes very difficult to compare when you look at studies that tell you, this week if you eat a radish you're going to live forever, and next week just as much research tells you if you eat a radish you're going to die tomorrow. So this is why the Biophotonic Scanner is so clinically important to you and your patients. The Journal of the American Dental Association basically related antioxidants to oral health. The periodontologists did the same thing in 2011, and they went so far as to recommend plant-based supplements, which is basically what our company has, primarily what our company has. And so very, very important that you face the facts that every one of us is an experiment of one, and having a biomarker like your antioxidant score is extremely important in terms of deciding what's going to be right for your lifestyle. Now in 2011, the European Journal of Nutrition came out. This was several months after Dr. Oz had the Biophotonic Scanner on his show, and Dr. Oz said if your score is less than 50,000, you're more susceptible to cancer. People got mad at him. 3 months later, the European Journal of Nutrition came out with this study. It's now called the Heidelberg Study, and it's an 11-year study of 23,000 people. And what they found, they were comparing a regular one-a-day multi-mineral tablet-type vitamin compared to a supplement like our Life Pack that has antioxidants added to it. And what they found after 11 years and 23,000 people, that if you took a supplement like our Life Pack, you were 48% less likely to die from cancer and 42% less likely to die from all causes. Very significant study, very difficult to dispute. LifePak Nano is our Rolls-Royce product. It is the first nutritional product to be designed using nanotechnology. It was the first one to use double-blinded, placebo-controlled crossover studies. It was the first one to be adopted by the U.S. Olympic Committee and the first one to make it into the physician's desk reference. So it's a very stout product. It has over 60 antioxidants added to it. And so the products that we create in conjunction with the scanner have a guarantee attached to them. The Biophotonic Scanner allows us to be the first and only nutritional company. Now, there are 1,600 of them out there. We're the first and only one to give a performance guarantee on a product. That's different than a satisfaction guarantee. The satisfaction guarantee says, I don't like the color of the box, I want my money back. A performance guarantee says we can actually prove that the product produced an effect in the body. That's unique in the nutritional world. Now let's shift gears a little bit. Let's go to where we go next, back to LifeGen. Okay, LifeGen, in 2008, 2009, we were in vegetables to see if I can raise my score. Great. Do that. Come back in 60 days. Let's rescan you and see if that worked. And if it doesn't work, then we recommend you take a supplement. And by the way, we have a line of supplements that are scanner guaranteed. If they don't raise your score, you get all your money back. So, Mr. Patient, why don't you use the products that myself and my staff are using and see if you can raise your score as well. It's guaranteed. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And so it's an incredible way to help your patients make educated decisions for themselves, and it's a possible exit strategy for you. Now, let's take off the doctor hat for a moment. Let's take off the healthcare practitioner hat. Let's take off the science hat, and let's put on our business hat. Let's put on the hat that says, you know what, as much as we love what we do, we have to be able to make money while we're doing it. So let's show you a way to do that using the BioScan Wellness Program. Now, if you're a healthcare practitioner and you buy a new piece of equipment for your office, you can expect that your return on investment is 3 to 5 years. So when I was in practice, if I bought a new x-ray machine, I knew I could make my money back in 3 to 5 years. With the BioScan program, you're going to get 5 to 20 times back your first year and annually. So that's very different from anything else you've seen before. Now, bottom line, it's going to cost you about $3,500. About $2,800 of that is products that you're going to sell at your first scanning event, help you recover your investment. That is the only time you're going to buy products in advance. Okay? After that, it's just going to be a restock, and you're going to have 1 or 2 of each item. There's a $500 deposit that you get back when you turn the scanner back in, if you turn the scanner back in. And then there's an $80 shipping. Of course, Uncle Sam gets their tax. So bottom line, about $3,500. And you can have it in your office by the end of the week, generally. Okay? We can't control the shipping. So generally, at the end of a week, you can have one. Now, there is a lease attached to it. It's $209 a month. Whoopee. You know, that's a small car. That's not very much at all. But how do you get a free lease? Well, you add 5 patients to our products in any month, any calendar month, and the company's going to waive the lease payment. Now, we have a woman out here in Waller, Texas, population 1,998. She does not have an office, and she's had the scanner for 22 months, and she's never made a lease payment. She just takes it around and shows people what it does and scans people and gets customers. And so we're talking about having this in your office. Or if you generate $5,000 a month in sales volume of our products, the company's going to waive the lease payment again. So if you actually work the program, you're never going to make a lease payment. You're going to have a device for free in your office that you can use. Now, scanning fees. Charging the patient for the initial scan is essential. Everybody knows what you get in return for a free consultation. No charge, no perceived value. We recommend a charge of $20. Now, all the numbers that I'm going to give you from this point forward are based on 10 years of experience and 15 million scans. Now, a minimum charge of $20 is recommended. That is the typical copay across the United States, and people will put that out of their wallet so fast it'll make your head spin. Okay? So they're very willing to cough up $20. It's very normal and very doable. Now, we do have some practitioners that charge more. I have heard that some practitioners in the Houston area charge $50 to $75 for a scan. The company recommends $20. Now, the next thing that makes it work here is this: scanning 2 to 3 patients per day. So this is based on a 5-day week. You scan 2 to 3 patients per day. That's 50 scans per month times $20 a scan. That's $1,000 cash per month in your pocket. That's $12,000 for the year. That's 3 times your initial investment. Remember, I told you you could make it back right away. Now, a typical patient's going to buy about $100 worth of our products. We have products from $5 to $255. And so people are going to spend about $100. That's a typical purchase. And $5,000 a month in sales times your percentage received is another $1,100 a month in your pocket. That's $25,000. That's 7 times your investment initially. And that's just on 2 to 3 patients per day. Now, on average, 10% of the patients that are sitting in your files will decide for themselves to increase their score. So if you're a typical healthcare practitioner, you have anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 files sitting in your cabinets, and you and your staff can reactivate those files by calling people up and say, look, we have the device in our office that you may or may not have seen on Dr. Oz show. We'd love to get you scanned. Come on in on such and such a date. And so on average, 10% of the patients that you call and do that with are going to decide for themselves to increase their score by using our products. You reactivate 100 patients, that's about $30,000 a year. And you activate about 300 patients, that's about $90,000 a year. So in short, the BioScan Wellness Program is designed to add 30 to 100 grand to your bottom line without increasing your hours. It is largely a staff-driven program. And so this is income that you could take into retirement with you. This could be your exit strategy because you can attach the income to you personally, not to your office. And so it could be an exit strategy if that's what you're looking for. We know the program is successful when a practitioner uses the products to increase their own score. So if you're a doctor and you're not using what you recommended, shame on you. Okay? The conversation is super easy. Mr. Patient, your score is very low. Why don't you use the products that myself, my family, and my staff are on, and let's see if we can get your score up. It's very important. You want to recommend the products to your patients. You're going to charge people for the first scan, and you're going to incentivize the staff. Now, typically what most practitioners do is they take $10 out of that $20 scan fee, and they throw it into a pool, kind of like a tip, and they split it amongst the staff. So that incentivizes the staff to go talk about the scanner and invite people in to get scanned, which helps your practice, by the way. And so that's what typically makes the program work. So in short, what if you were to enhance the clinical outcomes of your patients? What if you were to generate more referrals because they were happy, healthy patients? What if you were to generate more income for your practice, for yourself, and possibly for an exit strategy? What you want to do next is let the person know that that is sharing this with you, that you're ready to purchase the Healthcare Practitioners Package. You're going to schedule a follow-up with the person so that we can assist you and your staff on how to implement the program. Once you decide to order the scanner and the person places your order, we're going to know when it's coming. We're going to help you schedule your first scanning event with 20 or 30 people or more so that you can scan them, make money, become profitable as fast as possible. You know, we just had a doctor up in Chicago. He got his first scanning event. On his second scanning event, he broke even on his initial investment, and on his third scanning event in his third week, he was $2,000 in the profit. So the money's there, the research is there. What you want to do is let the person that shared this with you help you get started. It's been a pleasure spending the time with you. What you want to do now is let the journey begin. Look forward to seeing you at the top. Bye-bye for now.